My name is Sheena with a way of Namaste, and today I wanted to come on and share a prayer and a guided meditation coming from this week's Gene Key. This is Gene Key 10, the shadow of self-obsession, the gift of naturalness, and the city or the divine expression of being. Right now we have the sun in Capricorn and we have the moon in Libra. And I invite us now just to enter a moment of reflection, of contemplation, honoring this time as a time of being, where there's nothing that you have to do, nothing you have to know. But the invitation is to be here fully, landing in this moment now. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath, just fully arriving. Giving ourselves the greatest gift that we can give, conscious awareness to the now, with acceptance in the what just is. The highest road of the Libra, the diplomat, of accepting what just is, recognizing divine justice will handle the work of karma. It's not our doing as humans. We rest in the being as vibrational beings. And when we do, we receive the downloads, the drop-ins that inspire us with one right next action at a time. And we build a life from that place. One inspired action at a time. One breath at a time. Inspire being Latin for the word breathe. The breath of the divine. Inspiration. Let's take another deep breath here. And as you release, maybe you let out a sigh. Just feel some easy movement, something softening or releasing. So the shadow of self-obsession at the core, this is the focus on the self, and it becomes distorted, leading to a preoccupation with personal identity and how we're perceived by others. This shadow can manifest as either self-doubt, turning inward, or arrogance in its external expression, both being rooted in fear and a false sense of separation. So as we are adding this conscious awareness to the energies around us this week, this shadow of self-obsession we often see in the collective, and our invitation this week is just to notice where our shadow is creating a distortion of the perception of who we are as individuals, our individuality, creating either an over-identification with our idiosyncrasies, our flaws, or creating an over-inflated sense of ego. The gift of naturalness is about releasing the pressure of self-judgment so that we can allow our unique essence to shine effortlessly. People know who we are. It drips through our soul. You can feel it. You feel yourself softening around someone who is authentically being themselves. There's a feeling of safety, that if they can be themselves, I can be myself too. And this naturalness is all about being authentically ourselves. Without the pretense of self-consciousness, we're unbothered by the opinions of others. So while the shadow of self-obsession is looking for feedback from everyone, the gift of naturalness is seeing that feedback can be the distortion, the veil of perceived separation. And so it evolves beyond the need for external validation because it recognizes that it is here. And while it is here, it recognizes its connection with all, that it is part of the divine orchestration of oneness with all. There is no sense of separateness. There is no attachment to the ego. The ego is safe to return to the vastness as a drop in the ocean. This expression can be magnetic and inspire others. Give them invitations, permission slips to be radically expressive and authentic in their own being. People that exude this gift are magnetic and demonstrate the freedom of simply being. Someone that reflects true self-love is free of comparison or competition, because we know that we have no reason to compete with others. We are all resplendent in our own divine, unique reflection of the whole. At the civic level, all notions of identity dissolve into pure presence. Let's take a breath here. The concept of being transcends individuality and merges with universal consciousness. And here in this ecstatic state of being, we experience absolute alignment with the universal flow of life. The self and the universe are experienced as one seamlessly, as one seamless entity, one being in its pure, unadulterated experience. So, invitation now to close your eyes if you haven't already, or soften your gaze. Maybe place your hands in the Anjali Mudra position at your heart, prayer position, or maybe placing a hand over your heart if it feels in alignment. We're going to go ahead and just share a prayer now, tuning into that archetype of that divine presence, that pure being within us, as us, the wholeness of us. Divine presence within and beyond. You who breathe life into the essence of my soul. I call upon the sacred archetype of being, the mirror of my true nature. Let's take a deep breath in, feeling something soften as we release. And the shadow of self-obsession, help me to see clearly, to embrace my imperfections with love, without fear, without pretense, and without comparison or competition. In the city of being, dissolve all separation. Unite my heart with the heartbeat of existence and allow me to rest here in the eternal now. Let's take another deep breath. May I live as I am, and through my being, may I bless the world. Aho, Amen. And so it is. And keeping your eyes softly closed, or gently resting in a place in front of you. If you don't need to be fully focused, just inviting in the softness of the inward contemplation. And assuming a comfortable position, if you haven't already, where we can go into a meditation. If you're driving or if this isn't in alignment for you, just go ahead and take a couple deep breaths before returning back in to the rhythm of this day. If you are able to drop in for a few minutes, I invite you to find a quiet and comfortable space where you won't be disturbed. I invite you to find a relaxed position. It may be sitting up with your spine straight, so you can feel the expansiveness, the inspiration of those inhales. It may also be in a relaxed position lying down, so you feel the ease and gentleness of this day. There's no wrong way to meditate, there's only your way. So begin to take a few deep breaths in your own time, in your own rhythm. And as you inhale, I invite you to inhale deeply, imagining light beginning to fill up your entire body. This beautiful, warm glow. And as you exhale gently, just imagine yourself releasing any tension or any thoughts of self-judgment. We're going to connect to the archetype that lives within every single one of us. I invite you to visualize this radiant figure before you. It represents the archetype of being. It may come in as a messenger of someone you've met before, a version of yourself in another timeline, in another time and space. It might be someone you've read about in a story. Allow and invite the release of judgment as you just invite in this figure that represents the archetype of being. This figure is serene and simple, exuding warmth and authenticity. As they do, they reflect your highest essence back to you. I invite you to feel the warmth of this glow as you step a little bit closer, feeling magnetically drawn to their truth. You ask them a question. What part of myself do I cling to out of fear? What is ready to be released? I invite you here just to notice any thoughts, any feelings or images that arise. And just accept them without any judgment, offering them the light of your being, your soul essence. We'll rest here for a moment as you listen. The figure steps a little bit closer to you now, just close enough that they can reach their hand and put it right over your heart. As they do, you start to feel waves of acceptance recharging you from the inside with this golden glow. You hear them whisper, "You are enough as you are. Your natural self is your greatest gift." We rest here now in the comforting glow of this golden light and the warmth of this truth of our being. The figure dissolves into the soft golden light that fills your body, and you merge with this light, feeling an infinite sense of presence. Maybe you repeat silently to yourself or loud enough so that you can hear it. I am. I am. I am. I am. You rest here in this I am state, asking this space of being, what message do you have for me? And be open to whatever impressions come through, which may be words, maybe symbols, pictures, feelings, stories, or sensations. We'll take a minute here as you tune in to this divine presence, your being, and just allow them to speak through you to you now. Anything that you need to know now. I invite you to add some awareness to your breath now. Taking another deep breath in. Maybe allowing a smile to wash over your face as you feel the gratitude for the aliveness of this moment. Everything that brought you here to this place for this understanding. Maybe placing your hands on your heart and just thanking the beingness of your soul, your essence, for their guidance. Knowing that at any time you can return to this archetype that lives within you. And whenever you feel ready, you may like to add some movement to your fingers and toes, and just softly and gently open your eyes. And before you rush back into the rest of your day, maybe just take a moment to journal about any insights that came through for you. What were the messages, the archetype of being, your soul essence, wanted to share with you today? Perhaps just the feeling charging in the light of its love. Perhaps it was a permission slip to create something or inspire someone. Perhaps it was just a restful ease, an effortless state of acknowledgement, and something you already know to be true. However this message came for you today, thank you so much for being here, for dropping in, for taking this moment for yourself, recognizing as you take this moment for yourself in peace, in quiet reflection, through the gift of naturalness, of authenticity, that allows the opening, the acceptance and understanding. You also take this breath, this pause, for me and for our neighbors.